Hello creators and makers, this is the Random Engineer. Today we're going to continue with our sheet metal series and I'm going to teach you how to use the fold and unfold features as well as the flatten feature. So these are the more simple ones. Obviously to use these features you'll need to be able to fold and unfold a sheet metal part. So let's just design that sheet metal part first and then we can work on something else. So as always, we're going to create a base flange and just let's create a different shape this time. Let's use a polygon with 5 sides, and let's just say these are vertical and the side is 60. Alright, so I'm just going to exit the sketch, and since I clicked on the base flange first, I'll get the regular thickness, K factors, etc. So let's just say we want that for now. So I'm just gonna put some flanges from the edge. Just gonna click on those to have a better result, to see it from the edge. And let's say we want it for 30 mil long. Alright, so what's the difference? First you need to know the difference between the unfold feature and the flatten feature. So the unfold feature basically unfolds the sheet metal part. I'm gonna show you now. This is a fixed face, so you have to click on the fixed face and you can collect all bends or select the bends that you want to unfold. Let's say collect all bends for now, and we've got that. So that's the unfold feature. I'm gonna delete this for now. I'm click on flatten. So as you see, we've got pretty much the same shape. The only difference is that we've got the bounding box here and the bending lines. So you may wonder what's the difference then, right? Just like as explained before, a flatten feature is actually a configuration activator. So if you see here, you'll have part 3, and in your configuration you'll have the default part, and when you unflatten this you will have your derived configuration. For some reason it's not showing here, but maybe it's because I haven't saved it yet. So I'm just gonna save it, and let's see if I can show it now. Alright, just to let you know that I'm not crazy, I'm gonna show you what I mean in a drawing. So you have the flat pattern, right? And you also have the, say, top part. And as you see here, this is a default of the flat pattern. So that's the second configuration that you have, that you see now. And now it has created it. So yeah, now you can, just like any configuration, you can double click them and you can get in or get out of it. And as you see, it's just a double click and then you activate the flattened state. So as I said, the flatten feature is within a configuration, so you have to keep that in mind. And let's now unfold it as we did before, collect all bends, and do it like that. So now we have an unfold feature, and as you see, it hasn't created another configuration. So that means this feature is part, it's a feature of the part on the default configuration, not on the flat pattern. So now if I flatten this, you see that it activates default flat pattern right here. I'm gonna go back to my drawing, and as you see, this is the default configuration and this is the flat pattern. So even though they look the same, they are activated in different configurations. And what this means is that if you make any features here, let's say we want to make a cut, let's say a cut, just a circle in the middle, and let's get out of here and say link to thickness, and that's it. So now if I flatten this, as you know, this is the first default configuration. If I flatten this, I'm gonna end up with the same result. Just keep that in mind for now. That's the first thing I want to show you. I'm going into the drawing and that's the same part as you see. The only difference is the orientation, but we've got the same holes, right? But now if I flatten this and make another cut, let's say square here, same link to thickness. Now if I unflatten this, you see now how the square is not showing there, and that's because this feature is part of the second configuration, and when I deactivate the configuration, the cut feature is not shown. So if I go back to the drawing, let's see the default one. This is the flat pattern. Okay. Let's get it like this. Oops. There you go. That's the default one on flat pattern. Yeah. So as you see, the flat pattern now, I've got it activated, and this is suppressed. So that's because it's same as it's inside that feature, that configuration. Sorry. So that's why it's shown on one and not on the other one, and that's quite handy. I'm about to explain it in. Let's do it right now then. So just keep that in mind. Unfold feature is different than flatten feature. So for that, I'm just going to delete this and delete this and the sketches too. I'm going to hide the sketch. And one clue that you have that it's an unfolded feature is that you don't have the bend lines, but you have the actual lines where you would get your radius. And right now what I'm gonna do is create a hole right in the middle of it. So I'm gonna go Ctrl-8 to go normal 2 and just create a hole. I'm gonna click on the middle point here, middle point right here too, make it for construction. Snap the center of the circle to this and just get some dimension here, say 4 mil. Just completely define it by saying we want this 5 mil away. So now I'm gonna make the cut. It's linked to the thickness, and we got that. So now we're gonna fold it, and for the fold feature is pretty much the same way. You just have to select your fixed face, which is pre-selected by you, and the bends you want to fold, you can collect all of them or just select whatever bend you want to fold. So if you go yes, you get that. So as you see now, you'll get the deformation of the hole. So if this was a finger fold, you would get that deformation in there within your part. So that means if you make this hole bigger, let's say let's say 10, and update it. I'm just gonna edit this because it's too long, too big, sorry. So if you manage to, if you are able to design this within your actual assembly or anything, that would mean that you can probably just design a wire harness or a piece of wire that can go through it, and you can be pretty confident that that's the way that's going to be in the real world. So that's a way of modeling things that are going to be in your fault. While if you didn't do this, let's suppress this. All right, let's flatten this, and again we can make the circle here. We have the bend line right in the middle. We said 10. I'm just gonna drag it from one side. Right. So I'm just gonna make a cut. Cool. There you go. So it's all right. You get the hole, you get everything, but once you unflatten this, you don't get the hole in there. So if you want to design something, you want it to be as accurate as possible within your 3D environment. So that would mean that for the best result, you can design all the unfolded features or flat patterns before the actual flat pattern feature, but using the unfolding feature. And now I'm going to show you something else. We said 10 mil from the side and 10 mil hole, right? So if I flatten this, I'm just going to suppress this cut. We pretty much get the same result. So when you export this to your DXF for your manufacturing provider, you go DXF, output, sheet metal, and say geometry. Depending on the provider, they will ask you for bend lines or bounding boxes, forming tools, depending on what you've got within your design. So usually you just get your geometry, would say. So once you save it, it's going to calculate it and give it a preview, and you will be able to save it as a DXF. So as I said, the difference between using a fold and unfold feature against the flat pattern is that you can actually model the deformation in the bends when you're making cuts or using forming tools or any other like that. Like I said, if you didn't do this, you probably will be able to get the same DXF, which is not wrong, but that would mean that you wouldn't be able to model it in a 3D environment as accurate as you could. So that's the difference between unfolding a feature and flattening a feature. I've actually seen a couple of designers making holes and other features like tabs or like an extrusion within the flat state, and then when they unflatten the part, they don't see that in their design, and they get confused because they don't know what's the difference between the unfolding feature and the flattening feature. And even though you get the same result in the DXF, you don't get to see it in your model when you start putting features below your flat pattern feature here. So if I flatten and do anything else, it's going to be below this and not on top. That's another way of seeing what's the difference between a flat pattern and unfold feature. So unfolding an unfold feature comes in handy when, for example, let's unfold this. Let's do just only one. And let's say we want a bridge form. Where's my form tools? There you go. I think it's one of these. Must be one of these. There you go, bridge lines. So I'm gonna position it. I'm gonna rotate this. I'm gonna get this out of the way. Say these two have to be parallel. And oh, maybe I can't. Okay, let's get it there for now and rotate it. I thought you were able to change this orientation here. I've seen it, I've done it before. Okay. Let's say 45. Oh, 35. Very close. Maybe it's 110. There you go. That's it. Obviously, that's the angle created by an hexagon. Sorry, a pentagon. I'm just too lazy to calculate it now. So that I was right from the beginning. Let's just say this is 0 degrees, and it should update correctly. There you go. So now you unflatten this, and you unfold this, and then you fold it back again, and you get that. So what's the difference then, right? If you go back to this one, you can actually make sketches or references from here. So if I make a loop here, I'm gonna convert geometry, get out of here, just move, delete my fold feature for a little bit, and then fold it back again. As you see, we remain with our with the actual shape of the lance form or any other form. So you can actually start designing from here. So if you decide, okay, let's I know what to do. I'm gonna make a flange right here and say like that, and use the same sketch just to make a cut. Say through all to the other side, and that's it. So now that means let's okay. I wanted to do something else. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Let's go back to it. All right, I'm gonna do a hem now. Where's the hem? There you go, hem. Using this. I don't want that. I just want it like that. Say 20 mil. And there you go. It's gonna give me probably a warning saying there's interference. No. Okay. So if I unfold this, say I want this to be a fixed face and collect all bends, hem bend that. That's gonna unflatten this. Now I cannot. What I want to do is actually a 90-degree bend. Because you can, let me just think a little bit of what I want to do. So yeah, like I said, you can use this cut as a reference now. So you know where this bridge form is gonna fall once it's unfolded, right? Because when I flatten this, that bridge form is gonna fall right in the same spot that we created. So now, let's say you were in an assembly. I'm just gonna create a multi-body part for now, using a top plane, and just this part of the design is going to be just a regular. There you go. Let me unmerge this so it's correct. So I'm gonna use this sketch, and then right-click it, edit it, and just make a offset of 1 mil. Select the chain, make it for construction, just so I can. We still get the same position. It's just offset. So once we do that, I'm gonna make a cut, and there you go. So now let's say you had a finger fault here. Oops. Hide it. Yeah. So let's say you had a finger fault here, and this part was welded to the bottom sheet. So if you had a finger fault here, and you for some reason wanted to let's create the unfold feature again. Let me just say I don't want to merge this. Okay, I see what's the mistake here. I'm gonna say from surface. Okay, from vertex. Okay. So now the sheet is below the other plane. I was drawing on this plane, that's why it was creating an interference. And I'm just going to say I want this to be cut in this shape. Let's say through all. There you go. Yeah, now I have my mirrors. So now I can actually make the unfold feature. And as you see, you can use that reference as a guide. So you can actually create this part. I'm just gonna isolate this one. There you go. So you know what I'm doing. So you can be quite certain that when you unfold that face with your finger folds, that bridge form is gonna fall into that shape there, and you can actually put something over it, you know, like a cable or a cable ties or whatever you want. So that's one useful use of the unfold feature. You can get references with the flattened state to actually create new parts and other features as well. So I hope that was clear. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments or anything alike. That's gonna be it for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. Just as a added bonus, I'm gonna create a little preview render. Let's say we want a metal chrome, brush chrome, and just pre-render it so you can see what I'm trying to do. So once again, I hope you guys like this video. I hope you learned something useful today, and if you have any questions, just yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask me on my social media and everything alike. So that's the pre-rendered right there. That's gonna be in the YouTube thumbnail video. Alright guys, see you next time. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like it and share it. Subscribe and follow me on social media to know when I'm live, and if you want to support this channel, click on the Patreon button. See you in the next design.